Hello students. Today's topic is fuel cells. It's class 12. We have already studied primary cells. You know that primary cells contain limited amount of reactants. When we use them, these reactants are exhausted and the cell becomes dead and is needed to be thrown away. Then we have secondary cells. For example, we have lead storage cell, which are used in our cars, in our these inverters, and they are to be recharged. They need to be recharged after regular intervals so that they continue for a longer time. But they can only be recharged while there is availability of electricity. If you have no electricity, how can you recharge them? And they also become unusable. Therefore, we have got another type of cells which are called fuel cells. Fuel cells can work as long as the fuel is available, which are the reactants, which are basically reactants in this cell, which react to produce electricity. These convert the energy of combustion. Combustion, it is also a redox reaction into electric energy. It converts this energy of combustion into electric energy without the use of a heat engine. We can convert the energy of combustion into this electricity into another forms of usable energy by using a heat engine, which we use in our generators, we use in our vehicles. So there we need heat engines. But here in this fuel cell, what is different is that they convert directly this energy of combustion, which is a redox reaction, into electric energy or into electricity. The example of this is where many such cells. One example of this hydrogen oxygen fuel cell is one. Let us first see the structure. It consists of two porous electrodes. We have two porous electrodes. This is one, this another. These are made of carbon. Suitable catalysts are added to these electrodes to accelerate the reaction, because at operating temperatures, at these temperatures at 400 Kelvin, while we carry this reaction, the reaction between hydrogen and oxygen is not very fast. It is very slow. These catalysts are therefore added to enhance and accelerate these reactions. How are they added? They are mixed and pressed. These are mixed with, when we prepare these electrodes, we mix these catalysts with this carbon and make these electrodes which are placed in this reaction. Okay. These electrodes are placed, these are porous carbon electrodes placed on two sides of this is a rectangular bottle. On one side we have this porous, this is basically a partition of this carbon electrode. This is here one partition, and here we have another partition of these. These are pores through which gases can go inside the cell. Here we have, this is a partition basically of carbon, this is a partition of carbon. This is anode, our anode, and this is our cathode. At anode, the catalyst added is platinum or palladium. Platinum, here we have platinum or palladium. We add to this as catalyst. And at cathode, we add cobaltous oxide. Here we have cobalt oxide, and sometimes we add platinum or silver as catalyst here. Okay. Then we have to take electrolyte. Electrolyte is concentrated sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide solution is taken inside this bottle. Here on the anode side, we pass hydrogen. We press hydrogen basically at high pressure, which passes through these pores and goes into the solution. Similarly, here we pass oxygen, which at high pressure, which passes through these pores and goes into the solution. And the reaction takes place at anode. Anode is here. We have added hydrogen, and when it goes into the solution, we have OH hydroxyl ions, which are come from potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide, whatever it is. These react with the form 4 times water, and 4 electrons are released. That means from 2 molecules of water, from 2 molecules of hydrogen, and 4 hydroxyl ions, we get 4 molecules of water, and we get 4 electrons. At cathode, here we have present oxygen. 1 molecule of oxygen reacts with 2 molecules of water is formed here, and 4 electrons which come from outside. These 4 electrons move from this into the outer circle and come back to this cell at cathode, and these 4 electrons are added to this. We get 4 hydroxyl ions. These 4 hydroxyl ions again used here. Okay, so the net product of this is water. You can see here water is formed. Here 2 molecules hydrogen is consumed, oxygen is consumed. Here, two water molecules are consumed. You see hydroxyl, four hydroxyl ions are produced, four hydroxyl ions are produced here, here they are consumed. Two molecules of water are produced, four are consumed, and four are produced. It means that in this reaction, two net molecules, two molecules of water are formed, and oxygen, hydrogen, oxygen formed. And you see that there is no pollution, not any such product produced which can be injurious. Now let us go to this efficiency. What is efficiency? Which is calculated by which is designated by neta. Neta is equal to delta G over upon delta H. Delta G is heat of combustion, and delta H is heat of combustion, and delta G is useful work done. Here it has been calculated to be minus 3 to 7.9 kilojoules per mole, and heat of combustion is 285.8 kilojoules per mole into 100. This comes to be 83%, but actual efficiency has been found to be only 60 to 70%. Now let us go to what are the advantages of this cell. First advantage, as I have told you, that these work continuously as long as fuel is available. When you have fuel, you don't need any electric connection, you don't need anything. It will continue to generate electricity. Second is there is no pollution in this cell. The only byproduct is water, which can be used for drinking purpose. Another efficiency of is that is regarding its efficiency. Its efficiency is, as I have told you, is 6 to 70%, which is much higher compared to thermal power plants, which have only 40% of efficiency. So its efficiency is very high. Then we have limitations are there. First is as catalysts, platinum and palladium, which are used are very expensive. So when we use expensive raw materials, that means the cost of electricity produced by this is also expensive. Second disadvantage is storage. We know that hydrogen, oxygen are gases form. They are to be liquefied and kept in containers, and that can be sometimes disastrous. And we need a lot of space to store these. So that is another difficulty which prevents the wider use of these fuel cells. Then we have another difficulty, that is sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide, which are used as these electrolytes here, are very corrosive in nature. Okay.